And well, ladies and gentlemen, what a privilege it is for me again to bring this kind of a show to you. We're going to meet a very, very unique family. Tonight we will learn why they're so unique and why it really warrants having a program such as this tonight. Folks, it is a great honor and a privilege for me to have this family, Mayor Dowson's family. Our mayor of municipality of Bluewater. His worship is with us, and he brought us his wife and entire family. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for having us.
Well,
privilege is ours.
Well, thank you, sir. And I want to say this much. What sparked this? In our Christmas card, if you have heard me, I had literally announced, and I put Bonnie on notice that we will be doing a specific program or a special program regarding a very, very unique thing that she had done. I've got to say it had really touched my heart in a very profound way that she had honored her father in such a beautiful way, literally. Some of you know what I'm talking about. She wrote a very, very unique article. And that article was published in all the local papers. And she told a story honoring her father, literally. And, well, I got interested into that. I also know his worship for many years now. And I've had lots of experiences with him on this set. And we talked about issues and things. But for his daughter to honor her father in this way had really spoken volume into me, and I just developed this desire. Let's get the family on. Let's learn all about this, and let's see the family. Let's learn what Dowsons are all about. I have affectionately accused his worship of being a man with a tremendous heart. Literally, the biggest heart in Bluewater. And well, he's proven that in more ways than one. I know I'm being, I'm trying to recognize him for the fact that you have adored him enough that you have reinstated him into the office again. And I know with his attitude and certainly with who he is as a person, he will probably, I kept telling him, he will probably retire being a mayor. Bonnie.
Yes.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
What sparked you to write such a beautiful article about your father?
I don't know. I guess I just felt like he deserved it. I don't think I really needed to, because I think, like you said, everybody already knew all the things that I put down, but I just felt like I needed to, in some way, say what, I don't know what. Acknowledge it, yes.
Yeah. Being around your dad for many, many years and paying the tribute as you have to him and all that is very, very unique. But let us meet Bonnie first and see who Bonnie is, what makes her tick. Incidentally, folks, let me do this thing properly. On my right, everybody knows his worship, Bill Dowson, the mayor. On my left is his dear wife, Joyce Dowson. And Joyce, it is a pleasure having you here. You have made a special effort to come here tonight. You're having your share of troubles and problems, but love prevails. And here you are, dear lady. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Then you have your oldest daughter. Okay. Brenda. Hi, Brenda.
Hello.
And you are all neighbors, literally, or nearby. So how far are you from Homestead?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Probably about quarter of a mile.
Quarter of a mile.
If that.
Yeah, if that.
I can see the house from my window.
There you go.
Yes.
There you go.
I know when they're home and when they're not home.
Okay, good. And then, of course, Bonnie. And Bonnie, you're also in the neighborhood
I'm in Hensel.
in Hensel.
Yep, which is only about 10, 12 minutes.
10, 12 minutes away.
Yep, in the
And then
village.
your brother John.
Yep.
Johnny, you're the only guy in the family. What's this?
It was tough.
It was tough, eh? All right. And you're the local as well. Where do you live, John?
Just the second farm down from Mom and Dad to the south.
Mm-hmm.
And Brenda's actually in between us on the other side of the road. So
Okay, well, I'll go from you now back to me, John. What do you do? What do you keep busy with?
farming.
Farming.
Yep.
Okay.
Looking after the land and the livestock, and I also am on the board of directors with an insurance company, Hay Mutual Insurance. So
I see.
that this is for something different to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Gets me
right.
off the farm.
All right. Good, good. Bonnie, now we've seen you and seen plenty of you. You're in our municipal office. In fact, you're the head honcho there. You're going to run the show there.
I don't think so.
All right.
No.
You've been there a long time or long
I have
enough?
been there, yes, since amalgamation.
Since amalgamation.
Yeah,
Okay. You like your job?
I love my job.
That shows.
I love my job.
I talked to you a few times on the phone. I've knew of her, but I never ever put this together that she's actually a daughter of our mayor, my residential mayor. Well, anyway, and Brenda, what do you keep busy with? You're a nurse. You work at the hospital.
No, I'm in medical records.
Medical records.
Yeah, I'm a health information specialist.
Administrative side of things. You are all in administration. That's interesting. Papa, that's very interesting. Very, very educated people and people who keep things on tight and narrow. Administrative people. Interesting. Mom, you must be proud of your daughters, your son there.
Very proud.
You know, Mom, I hope you don't mind my saying this, but in a Christmas card, we were also recognizing the fact you've got some troubles that you dealt with, and I can't thank you enough that despite of some of the issues and you're battling with, you're still here. And
Oh,
love is stronger than anything else holding you back. When it was offered to you to come and join with the family on a set like this, you were just in the hospital a few days ago.
Oh, I was, but I'm fine.
You're fine now.
Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah,
All right.
and I'll
You're-
keep going as long as I can.
Your hubby is very proud of you, and I hear some big things, and he honors you a whole lot as his
thank you.
wife and as a family, all of you. I just thought it was very unique that here, folks, at Christmas time, we would meet Dowsons. This is a family of our mayor of municipality of Bluewater, and rightfully so. He has been re-elected now, the third term.
Yes, the third term. I've put in two 3-year terms, a 4-year term, and now I'm in my second 4-year term, which will get me 14 years as the mayor of Bluewater from the time of inception.
Yeah.
When I went together, altogether, 25 years in the municipal. I went on in 83, I think it was, or fall late of 83, at Stanley, and I've enjoyed every minute of it. There's been challenges, always an uphill challenge, but we meet them, and of all my years, the people have shown me a tremendous respect. Did they always agree with decisions that came out of our council? Did they always agree with the decisions that came out of my mouth? Not always, but they seem to respect it, and I always say there's two things that the ratepayers of any municipality don't want to hear, and that's the words no and the word never. There's always
How
got to
true.
be. There's always
Yeah.
got to be something. Most people, that's all they want to hear is, you're going to, try to do what you can for me. If there's I always say if there's a gray area, I'll try to find it. Now, I don't mean that in a sleazy sort of way. There's always more than one way to get there. I always believe regulations, bylaws, official plans need to be adhered to, but we have to always remember, they're living documents, they're guidelines to take us down the road. At the end of the day, are they the only one? No. There's a system you have to go through and regulations you have to go through to change it, but they are all changeable. They are not carved in stone, and they're not the end of the day. But we have to respect them.
Yeah. I wanted to, as for me, I wanted to really find out what makes you tick as a man. People love you. There's no question about this. I mean, proof is in the pudding. You didn't just win, you won with a nice margin. And I love what Bonnie has said in her article. You did not win your election that night. You won this over many years, and you're a hard worker. You've been really able to find the language, certainly ways of ironing issues and coming through with those issues as a victor at the end. You primarily had victories with every one of these, even some of those that were considered to be a defeat. Some of those negative issues that, oh, well, it was a hard pill to swallow. Yet you have managed to really speak to the heart of people, and people have felt your contribution. If anything, they felt your honesty and your integrity, and it shows in how you keep getting reelected and how people trust you. I know what I'm talking about because I have followed you myself on many of those issues, and I believe, well, when I heard and certainly took part in addressing some of the issues of the letter that your daughter had posted to the editor and to the well, 3 or 4 papers have published it literally, and it was really unique that the family had felt that way, and certainly a family member, a daughter, who saw her dad busy at the helm doing his thing over many years, and it's easy to come to see literally that there was a victory that was won long time ago for you. It wasn't necessarily the night of the election, but we've talked on many issues, and I know that some of those were tough, and you did not shy away. You took the bull by the horn and dealt with those, and some of those issues of water, and certainly Bayfield, and I know because your constituents in your areas have seen that integrity in you and have seen desire in you to really communicate the issues well, to the point where your constituents had to be comfortable because it was the best solution or a best remedy to the problem at hand that you dealt with. But here it is Christmas, and we have just had you in a Christmas card, and thank you for that. I consider it a very, very unique privilege to have Dowsons with me on the set and to meet your family, to find out who Dowsons really are. And it is really unique. I know your wife a little bit. We've had some conversations, and you have brought her here before, and she has joined us and on a set a few times before. Let's talk to the family members. Let's go to Joyce and find out. Joyce has been busy with certain things, and how is life in general?
Life is pretty good.
Pretty good.
Pretty good, yeah, pretty good. Yeah, we can be thankful for what we have and what we're doing, and everybody seems happy, and I can't ask for much more.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Your husband told me one thing. He says, you know something? I love that woman. She is really being there for me all the time, and even when the things were not quite peachy, as they say in life. You know, life is a bowl of cherries at times.
We have our
never
quiet
know.
times. We do have quiet times too.
Do you? So what will you do for Christmas? What is your Christmas going to consist of?
We're having a Christmas Day this year for the first time in a long time, and it will be at our place, so I'll be coming to our place.
Okay.
There's be 22 or 3 of us, and
20 what? How many?
22 or 3 or 4,
Okay.
depending
all
how
right.
many boyfriends and girlfriends.
Okay.
And but the girls this year they'll be bringing the food, and
Everybody's going to contribute. That's what we do. That's what my family does.
Yeah.
In fact, mom and dad, my parents are in late 70s now, and no, mom is going to cook something definitely.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
going to pull her weight.
Yeah.
But everybody contributes with something, and
Yeah.
we put a potluck together. And
Sure.
boy, what a Christmas that
oh
is.
yeah,
But now, listen, folks, there's 12 grandchildren here. Every son and a daughter, 4 kids each. This is very, very unique. Brenda,
Yes.
you have 4. What
Yes.
is your oldest?
Stacy.
Stacy,
And she'll be soon be 22. In
22.
a couple of weeks she'll be 22, and she's finishing up her 4th year at Waterloo University,
Uh-huh.
taking social development studies. Perhaps may become a teacher, we will see.
Wow.
Kelly is 18, and she's at Ridgetown College, taking the agriculture program there.
Well, Papa.
And
Okay.
Kimberly's in grade 12,
Uh-huh.
and Stephen is in grade 9.
I see. All right. Bonnie, how about you?
I have 4 boys.
4 boys.
I do.
And I bet they all want to be farmers.
Actually, the oldest one has it in his blood, but
Okay.
he's trying some other angles right now.
Okay. What
He
are
just
those?
left to go out to Vancouver. He's got some work out there. He's living out there. His girlfriend is at university out there, so he's just testing some other way out there. And Matthew works in this area for a locate company,
Okay.
and Justin works for Hay Communications,
Okay.
and Jeremy's at Fanshawe College.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Right. So your oldest is how old?
26.
26. And the youngest?
26, yeah, they're 26, 25, 22, and 19.
19.
Yeah.
Hi, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, John. How about you? You
Yep.
got 4 too.
4 kids, 3 girls and a boy.
3 girls and
Yeah.
a boy. You're following your dad. One boy.
Yeah, he's the last one to carry on the name, so
Yes,
Well,
it
well.
was me. Now I've passed that on to him.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, I've got the 3 girls. My oldest is Alicia, 21. She's in Guelph University, in a 3rd year university. Jamie is 20, and she's out of school and working. And Kristen, the next daughter, is 19, and she's in Conestoga College right now, taking some courses there. And Jason, my youngest, is 17, and grade 12 high school.
Interesting. Interesting.
He just wants to farm and play hockey.
Yeah, that's his thing.
I want to get really deep into the program now. We're going to go right into the meat of the program. I want to know how this family functions, literally. I mean, I really would love to know this. So I'm going to ask you people, what do you think of John, your dad, the mayor? He's been a mayor now for a while.
Yeah.
An official in the highest capacity in Bluewater. Does a tremendous job, does a good job. People love him.
Yeah.
You know, how do you feel about your dad? You see him in his functions as a mayor.
Yeah.
You help a little here and there, but I want to know where do you fit in the scheme of things, and how do you where's the relationship between Dad, the mayor, and you, the son, and the farmer, and all this?
Well, when it comes to the farming side of things now, I've found that I make pretty well all the decisions.
Okay.
But
You're running things.
I can ask, you know, what do you want to do here or there, but I usually get the, well, whatever works. But the mayor's position takes a lot of time. And, you know, I know I've seen that. And I don't know how he finds the time to get everything done and deal with all the issues and deal with the people. I know I've walked into the, you know, house during phone conversations and some good ones, some not good ones, and it takes the right kind of person to handle that job. That's for sure. And yeah, it impresses me, and I know as the years have gone by, I think he's growing into the role more and more all the time. I can see that where you know, he's
I know he's here with us, but I'm going to ask you,
yeah.
has he been the father to you in,
Oh, yeah.
in every sphere of
Oh,
life?
yeah.
I mean, covered
Yeah.
his...
Yeah.
Went to a lot of hockey games.
Did
A lot
he?
of hockey games.
Yeah, and
Alright.
still with the grandkids
So you found
too.
the
like-
time to be Dad and all
yeah,
that?
doesn't miss like when my son plays hockey, even the away games.
wow.
Dad and I often travel together to those too. Like,
Yeah.
you know, he could be coming home from a meeting and say, "I'll be there in 20 minutes. Have you left yet?" And I said, "No." So he'll pick me up and away we'll go. Yeah,
Wow.
like it's, I don't know, it's a lot of time.
Yeah. But from what I hear, I mean, you're a very capable man, good farmer. You have pig farm, right? Pork producer?
Yeah, cash crop. I'm cash crop,
Uh-huh.
and then Dad's farm is cash crop and the hogs.
And the hogs.
Yeah.
How's business, guys?
Well, right now it's good.
Mm-hmm.
Commodity prices are good. The hog business is still not the greatest, but yeah, as far as the cash crop side of things, finally we're getting on the right side. Costs are increasing, but if prices stay where they are now, they're in profit levels, which is the first time in a long time.
Yeah, it's about time. Yeah.
Yeah, it's past due.
All right, we're going to get back to farming in a second, but let me go to Bonnie and her administrative work at the municipality. You're in your function, I mean, you speak with pretty well everybody that calls, makes a phone call there. You're the receptionist. You're pretty well, you're a lot of things there. You do, people will ask you questions, and you have to be well informed about municipal business and certainly in tune with your clerk and everybody there, being all that you can be to your constituents there, as informative as one can be, certainly. I know you love your job, there's no question about that, I've heard that before, but how do you juggle? And when you answer that, I also want to know, how do you find the time? Where's your relationship with Dad? What I saw and what I seen in that article, it jarred me a little bit, you know, tugged my heart a little bit, because you must love your dad.
Oh, yeah.
Well, she was always the favorite.
Was she? Well,
No, I think when you asked me at the beginning what the reason I did it was, I think my biggest motivation was you are a different person in that election year. And I knew people would see that, but I just needed to say it too, was that he isn't any different than he ever is at any time. He is just the way he always is. He hasn't done a thing different, and I guess I just needed that.
so you were always Daddy's little girl.
Yeah, I know. There's two of us. We had to share.
Brenda, 4 kids and a home right in the vicinity, in a view of Mom and Dad. How has that been? How's that worked out for you?
Well, it's a difficult job because people will call me and say, "Do you know where your parents are?" And I'm like, "Sorry, I don't know where they are." They're very busy people.
Now that I know this, you see, I'm probably going to be one of those calls.
But I have to say, it was truly a heartwarming experience doing the campaigning and knocking on the doors, because 99.9% of the doors we knocked on knew Dad, knew Mom, and had only good things to say about them. and how the message of respect and integrity, how he represented himself, how he had helped them with any issue that they had brought forth, was truly heartwarming and a wonderful experience for us. But also the grandchildren were out knocking on those doors as well, so they got that message from these complete strangers, telling them what a wonderful man their grandfather and their grandmother was. So it was quite an experience and something we'll never forget. And we said election night when we were waiting for the results, and we said, you know, it doesn't really matter what happens here tonight. If he wins, that's great, we'll support him. If he loses, we get our father back. Now, we're quite willing to share him. We've been sharing him for a long time, and there's lots of them to go around. So, you know, the sharing isn't a problem, but it is part of the way we have been brought up, is to be involved.
I gotta ask your papa how that happened. You girls are so petite, you know, so tiny, attractive looking girls. Son there, I don't know.
Where it came from? Must have been the mother's side.
My mother's side.
Well, just to take a minute and go back though, our grandfather, they always tell the stories. Grandfather John came in the 1830s with 3 boys and a woman and some livestock, and so did my mother's people. But if we go back into the Dowson side, John Dowson, and then to one of his sons, Henry, which was my great grandfather. We have pictures taken in the 1800s, and the girls were all very well dressed, and they had that. They just weren't. They just didn't look like farm girls, but they were all raised on the Babylon line. They all ended up staying at home. There were no professional degrees among any of the 11 children. Some of them died young through those years when the health problems were tough. But they told me that Henry Dowson would bring them to the village of Varna in the buckboard to clean houses, the girls. And they would come dressed like they were going to a theater. And they could work in through a house, and they would be dressed up. You wouldn't know they were what they were doing. He would pick them up at noon, take them home. If they needed to come back, he brought them back. But they always said Henry got the 25 cents too. It was his motive.
Yeah.
But he raised 11 children, and in their picture taking in about 1880, it always amazes people when you show it to them how well dressed the boys and everything, all in suits and watch chains on, and they always seemed to be able to do that. It was part of the way they were brought up. Their grandmother was a peck and a very, very strong-willed lady, and she somewhere there were some genes carried through there that drifted, I'm sure, into our children. And you can see it as you go through the families as they crossed. Their oldest daughter ended up having 11 more right next door.
Wow.
So and they're all about the same. It just seemed to be part of what was there. Now, not to outdo my Joyce's side of the family, she was the oldest of 10, and really mothered a lot of those boys along, because her father was warden of a county, and even warden of the county, so she knew what, and she mothered them through, and that instinct has traveled on into our children. So a lot of what they are comes from that line too. They're not all one line. There's both in there that makes it worthwhile. And back into my mother's side too, there was always an instinct there that it's traveled from generation to generation. It's not something new that just happened. It's been there.
Your background, English?
English, Irish, Scotch, and we never know for sure what. And I was told one time that anyone that says they're English, Irish, or Scotch were kicked out of somewhere else first. With S-O-N on our name, and my mothers were Johnsons. With S-O-N, you're likely Norwegian or Swede if you want to go back 1,000 years.
Okay.
And that's where they say you really have to go to find out where your true roots are. You've got to go back into some of the European countries.
But I got to say something. There's lots of love here. A lot of love here. For a family that sticks together like this and joins us on the show, they owe us nothing, folks. But to have you here and allowing your community to meet with you this intimately is very big of you. Thank you for that. So Merry Christmas to you from the people who are watching. This is our Christmas present from you people. actually meeting Dowsons of Bluewater is very unique experience, as you will certainly learn. Mother, these daughters, that boy there, you're a proud mommy, but you come from background of 10 children.
Yeah. I'm
Wow.
the oldest of 10.
You're the oldest.
I have one sister and 8 brothers.
I see. See, I'm the oldest of 6. Mom and Dad had 6 of us. Again, 5 boys, 1 girl. So it's really unique story. But I'll tell my story another time. I'm more interested into your story. Life has been colorful for you. You've always lived at the same address for how many years now on Babylon line?
50 years this summer. We were married
50
50 years in August.
And that's what I was going to ask. Married 50 years?
Uh-huh. And Brenda's 25 in November, so yeah.
Yeah. That is very unique. Very unique. That is to be celebrated, because in a lieu of life today, just not as the way things used to be.
No, it's not. No.
Life is a whole lot tougher today.
It is so.
And when you witness a husband and wife in a relationship for 50 plus years, well, I'm 56, so that means my mom and dad at least 56 years in that in their marriage. And I applaud that kind of, certainly that behavior. It's not that it wasn't rocky and all this kind of stuff. Life is a bowl of cherries, as they say. There's lots of pits in life.
Oh, yes.
And when we find to deal with those, and when we have people that literally stick together, love one another, it's worthwhile living, and kind of looking forward to a next day is a little bit easier.
Yes.
Grandkids, very close?
Oh, yes. Yes, they are. They all live close by and in and out every day or so. And
You got 12 grandkids already.
yeah, 6 boys, 6 girls.
6 and 6.
Yeah, waiting for the great-grandchildren.
But we can
And
still
that-
wait. You don't want them to make a fast decision.
Okay.
Make a
We'll let them get
responsible
married
decision.
first, but
All right.
but it would be nice.
Yeah. Well, you moved into that 50 years ago, so that would have put us, what,
1960.
60. Where did you come from?
I just
Then.
The other side of number 8 highway there between Seaforth and Clinton at Kinburn.
I know where that is.
Oh, do you? Yeah.
Oh, wow. So you were from that area?
Yes.
I see.
Yeah.
That's where you met this babe, huh?
Yeah.
And she swept you off your feet?
Yes, she did. Yeah, I just was bombarded.
I know when that happens. I can relate to that a little bit. Yeah. It's interesting. Life is what you make it, and you know something. When family sticks by, Bill, my friend, when a family catalyst, the love is there, and you stick through it, through all the, I know, you don't have to tell me, I'm not even going to ask. I know you had your ups and downs as a family. And there might have been those questions, will we keep the family farm, will we not? How will we make our ends meet? What is tomorrow going to bring? And then you get a year that crops are just, no, prices fallen, or weather or something, and to be a farmer and to raise a family, not a picnic, is it?
No, but we grew up all through the tough times. My grandfather was here. I would not have been farming today if it hadn't been for my ancestors, like John. Our grandchildren are 7th generation. Would any one of us likely been a farming? I guess we likely would have had the desire, but we had that background there that we've weathered tough times before. We'll weather them again. My parents went through tough times in the industry. My grandfather did. I know there was many times that most of them thought, what are we going to do next year? But there never was that well, we're not going to be here next year. We will be here.
find out more about Dowsons, stay with us. Dowsons are with us today, and really, well, we've learned a thing or two about the family. Folks, it is Christmas after all, and it's nice to be able to sit together with a family such as these people and reminisce a little bit and talk about some of those fun times they've enjoyed, and certainly they are old-timers in a community. I've learned they've been here all their lives, 50 years literally at their current address, but they're still local, not very far from here. And this man was smitten by a lady not too far from home and made his home locally, and they continue to inspire a great many people with the lives they have certainly had. They've got a lot of things to be proud of. This is a beautiful family, and by all means, it is a pleasure to explore this and see how they've made it. It's tough. I've said this earlier. It is hard at times to see this, to literally see and experience this. But a family that sticks together through it all and lives to talk about it and reminisce like we are right now, it is certainly a beautiful thing, a Christmas thing. And but you do more. Our mayor is also, well, ho, 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 helper. I don't know if I could give him a name. I don't want to give him out. Kids would probably not like that, but he does his job well. And I understand he visits some of the old folks. You have loads of fun, don't you?
Yes, I do. It's a real privilege to be able to do it. We have a very good, been blessed with a very good suit. The municipality, Stanley, bought it later in their time because they ran. The gentleman, as the clerk, he was like that too. He wanted to, so he got a new suit to be sure we could give the seniors a bit of a send off at Christmas time for theirs. And I guess I've just hung on to that suit and use it as much regular. It's still it looks very original. And yes, I do a few family Christmases, and Optimist Club in Bayfield have a breakfast, and I sit in the chair and they take pictures of the children as they come in, and then they sell the pictures. The Bayfield Breeze had quite a write-up and a lot of pictures of me and the children at their breakfast for about 4 hours, 3 hours it goes on for, I guess. But my greatest joy has been traveling through the nursing homes, just walking through, and there's nothing gives you more of a lift than some elderly person slumped over in their wheelchair, head down, and walk up to them and take hold of their hand and wish them a Merry Christmas. And you'll watch the head come up, and then all of a sudden the eyes takes them back.
That's it.
A number of years.
Yeah.
And the twinkle comes, and you can just see the eyes light up. And that's priceless. It's priceless to watch that expression change.
Would be.
Not me, it's that Santa Claus vision. And I was blessed to have Santa Claus ask me to do some of this work for him because he cannot be everywhere.
It is amazing, but when we get older in age and everything else, we begin to relate to the youth, huh? And some of these things become important. And that's why mom and dads in those retirement homes, I can sympathize with you. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I would see they would just light up like that Christmas tree, literally.
Yeah. Wasn't my voice to me. It was just that brought them back to their childhood days, and it gave them something to look forward to. Yeah, but it's most rewarding.
You make a pretty good.
I don't need no padding. Let's go this way. I don't need pillows. I don't need any stuff.
Yeah. You have
I fit the suit great.
You have the height and width and everything.
I'm there.
You're there. The beard with
Oh yeah,
the
it's,
suit and all that?
Yeah.
if you looked in I've been in the XTA a few times. They've took pictures, and if you
Okay.
go on to the Bayfield Breeze on the internet, you'll see some of the pictures there in their last week's news. But no, it's been very rewarding. I enjoy doing it. I don't want to do it all the time, but it is. I'm there if people really want to.
Yeah. You know what is really, really precious, and I know you count this very precious, sir, when a family gathers together at that Christmas table, you know, to have a meal together, tell a story or
Yeah.
two, laugh or two, grandkids are there. When Bylasses get together, my family, oh, good Lord, I don't know, we are large in numbers. Mom and Dad, when they came here to this country, they came with 6 kids. So 8 souls, as they say, okay? But now that is growing into, well, just over 200 people. And when we get together, we need to rent a community center or something to, we just rented Kirkton Center for Thanksgiving. And got together, and this Christmas is going to be very unique because some of the centers we could not get, and when it all came out at the end, it looks like there's only going to be like maybe 30 or 40 of us
Sure.
that'll be able to get together this Christmas. So we decided we'll be with Mom and Dad.
Yeah.
And how nice that is. Your Christmas dinner will be over at the homestead, Mom and Dad's place, right?
Yes, it will. And with their family, the way they're spread out, every one of their families want to have Christmas, their turn at Christmas
Yeah, yeah.
Day, and so and it's worked out for us not to always have it on Christmas Day, but it happens anywhere from the day before to that day to the day after the
Yeah.
Boxing Day. He was born on Boxing Day, so he doesn't get
27th.
So he doesn't
27th.
get. He thinks
Wow.
he doesn't get a birthday present every year because we're so busy with Christmas we forget about his birthday. So I think he likes to have it on Boxing Day. It's about as close as he can get to his birthday. So having a birthday party.
He's pretty well taken over the farming. And
Oh
all
yeah,
this.
I go for the parts if it's needed. And do I always bring home the right part? No, not always. But I do the best I can with the message I got.
Have you taught him well? Is he polished farmer?
That's one thing about all our 3 children, I have to say. No, we didn't spend a lot of, it just seemed to be, it was the way they were put together, that they just knew what they had to do. We didn't spend a lot of time trying to make them what they are. They're self-made children. And they followed, I guess, watching us do what we do, our families and my wife's families, and me with my both sides of my family, the Johnson side and the Dowson side, always been strong community people. And we just knew it's part of what we do. We're expected to be there. Do we stand out in the front of the crowd all the time? No, we do not. But we're expected to do our thing and be there when we're needed. And that's what's made us what we are. And our children have followed through with that pattern. We didn't tell them, you better do this and you better, no. They just did it and we accepted what they did. And they haven't been a problem.
The reason why we call this, and certainly why we're experiencing this family get-together, as I mentioned in the beginning of the program, was the fact that Bonnie wrote a very, very unique article. And I know that article has spoken volume into a whole lot of families, people certainly. It's just that your family does not get much exposure. You are the mayor, I understand that. And you have a lot of exposure as an official and everything else. But we don't really get to have a peek into your family life and see who you are and what makes you tick, what doesn't, and who you are as a man, who is the family behind you and all this. And as I said in the beginning of the program, when the article was written, it had been written with a great deal of love, heart, and everything else for her dad. And saying some things that she has said sparked interest in exploring this family a little bit and find out what the family is all about. And Bonnie, I do want to thank you for what you did do. It's a very unique thing. You love your dad, there's no question, and you've shown it. But you know something, this love that is shown on this set and that we're enjoying this Christmas, Dowsons, I hope to be contagious, that others would take example of this. I too know your dad, and he's a very, very unique man that is never tired to hear people's problems, to deal with issues, to be there for somebody. You'd almost feel like, hey, here's a guy that would almost put you on his lap to talk to you. You know, there is that that is in him. You know, so for a daughter to have done what you did, girl, I'm proud of you. You're just very unique, and that is really, really nice to have family support you in that way and believe in you. And I also want to thank you for bringing your family here and giving us a little bit of peek into Dowsons and finding out who you people really are.
Well, we're just the way we are, and everyone just seems to know what their positions are and what there's expected of them, and we do it. As I said earlier, we have never put our children up and said, you better be here, you better do this. No, they just seem to know where their place is, and they do it to the best of their ability, and my wife and I both appreciate everything they've done for us. We wouldn't be where we are if it weren't for those three.
I bet you still find time. I don't need 12 grandchildren. You still have your lap is open for them to come and.
It's running out of room. The space gets shorter here, but we're there. We are there.
There is the mayor, the man who is an official in official capacity in the community and everything else. Yet, a family man and a grandpa, pa and grandpa and soon to be grandpappy. No, not yet.
No.
Not that we know of anyway.
Okay.
Well,
But family's growing.
I uttered a statement a number of years ago, as everyone knows. I did have a bypass operation about 6 or 7 years ago, and it had went through my mind many times since how that came out of me so quick one day. Brenda had phoned, wanted to chat to me in the hospital. One of the head ladies from the hospital came in to do a little survey, and she was fairly well up in the organization, I knew. And she said she just got started to get her book out and start to ask questions. And the phone rang. The gentleman beside me said, it's your daughter. He had the phone, I didn't. And the lady kind of turned and she said, well, I'm doing this now. And I said, well, where I come from in rural Ontario and Huron County, family comes first. And I'll be dealing with that one first. She got up, packed her book up and left. I never seen her again. I left the hospital. But I said, where I come from, family's first. And, it just bounced out of me. But I've often thought since, I know I said the right thing.
Yeah.
I said the right thing.
Yeah. It jars me to think a little bit also. Some 19 years ago, my father also had a heart attack, and it changed my life.
Yeah.
It really did. I was very a hardcore businessman, and after money in the biggest way one could, I pursued money, period. And I was good at it. I was very successful businessman at the time and everything else. But workaholic, I guess. See, you come into this land of promise, land of milk and honey, as they put it. And I worked hard and worked very, very hard, and I was really successful at pretty well everything that I've done, to the degree where I too had a heart attack. Well, many moons ago. But I have overcome that by literally a miracle. A local doctor knows my story. So if he's watching, he will know what I'm talking about. My heart is that of a 16-year-old, not, hey, as healthy could be. I came out of that unbelievably good. And but it smartened me up. It really did. And I've learned it's not all in money, and it is not all in pursuing. Happiness is not in money, in obtaining equity and things. No, money cannot buy happiness. The love is a unique thing that we possess, that we need to invest a little more of, especially in building our families and being all we can be to one another and for one another. And I'm seeing this tonight. This is nice. This is very, very nice. As I said, when Dad had a heart attack, it changed my life totally. I really had I had to rethink things, and it changed me to a great degree, to be a respecter of life and what we have today. How precious families can be and how precious life is. And I'm seeing that being the case in this family too. You're really enjoying your family beside your responsibilities you have.
And I guess that's why this time of season comes around. It's come to us because of the birth of a child thousands of years ago.
Yeah.
The longest running celebration
I
in
meant
the
to.
history
You said
of the
that
world.
in a Christmas card, just like that.
And
But
that
I will tell you, you know something? You know how many years ago? 2000, 10 years ago, 12 months and 22 days. And I am dating the program now. That is the program date. If you look at the calendar, that is how long ago his birthday was. Isn't that unique?
yeah.
We started to count the calendar years, the time from that birth.
Yeah.
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 And a lot of people don't stop even to think that is the case. That's the longest celebrated birthday party.
And it influences everyone in the world. And it's not a unique thing compared to our country. I always say we should have 5 seasons. We should have the spring, summer, winter, fall, and then we should have the Christmas season in our
I love that.
way of life,
Yeah.
because everyone changes their style. They smile more. They shake hands with their enemy. They hug one another. Everyone the whole world transforms. Wars
together.
come to a halt for the birth of that child,
Yeah.
to celebrate the birth of that child thousands of years ago. And we must never lose that, because it's why we're here today. It's why we're sitting here. And we must never lose that, because that is part of our. If it weren't for that, weren't for the children and the children that were born, we wouldn't have a purpose to be here. We'd have no reasons to be. This world would have no future. And that's because of a child that was born thousands of years ago that puts us in this position today.
Absolutely.
And we will never do without that.
Yeah.
Cannot.
Yeah. Absolutely. And it's very unique. I can't thank you enough for sharing your family this Christmas with all of us. And certainly with all of our viewers. We really got to know Dowsons a little bit better this Christmas, and I think we're a little bit better for it. But yes, you're right. It is a very, very unique time of the year when we're mindful of one another, and it was that birth that it made it all happen. 2010 years ago.
You know your history better than me. I wouldn't have known that. I just know it was thousands of years ago.
Yeah. It's interesting that, when this time of the year, you will see many clergy will start their Christmas Mass or a program or whatever, reading Luke 2 or reading the birth of Jesus as to the consensus that were done during the Augustus Caesar, who actually started to do this, the census at the time. Well, from that birth, from that time on, we started to count our time that we have today being December the 22nd, 2010. That is how we started to count those years, from that very birth. Really unique story. But you know, I think if the families, especially this time of year, stop to realize some of these things and the catalyst, the love that is behind, it becomes a good catalyst to bind families together and certainly make this happen. It's a very unique experience. It was for me. I want to thank you for being with us. Thank you for allowing this to happen. Joyce, it is such a pleasure, dear lady, to have you here, a part of this. I know you're very proud of your family, and you should be.
Yes.
Those are
yes.
wonderful girls, and that man there, the farmer,
Yes.
taking after his dad.
Oh, we know. Yeah.
This is good story.
Yeah.
Good story.
Yeah.
It's a really a nice standard for a family, for a community to see. It's a kind of I don't know, even heart tugging thing a little bit to see things happen as it is the case in your family. I can't thank God enough for that you do. After all, I mean, coming together like this. At Christmas, even allowing us to peek at the family and your hearts and what makes you be who you are was very noble, very big of you. Thank you for that.
It was
Girls,
nice to be here.
Thank you for coming. Johnny,
You're welcome.
keep up the good work. The farmer man. Yeah? The guy who will take over.
I'll do my best.
You got it. You got it. Well, folks, I want to thank Dowsons for being with us tonight. It really was a pleasure sharing them with you. And I know you've enjoyed this. I want to wish each and every one of you a very Merry Christmas. And again, thank you all for coming. And may the new year be a blessed one for all of you.
Thank you.
Thank
Papa,
Thank you.
likewise.
Thank
Merry
you.
Christmas, my friend.
Peace be yours.
Yes. And may the new year really be the best one yet.
Be very
God's
healthy
blessing to you and
and
yours.
rewarding as we go through.
Folks, thank you for being with us. Merry Christmas to all of you.
Merry Christmas.
Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas, everyone.
Happy New Year.